What's going on, everybody? This is the Ground Up Podcast. I'm your host, Aaron, and this is
Keisha Rock.
And we are on episode number 21.
21.
Oh,
we're
man.
getting up there. We're doing our thing. We're working at it.
Working at it.
Yeah. So I know I always say this, but I am excited. We're bringing you guys a really unique episode. We got 3 guests on today. They are the owners of Auntie Nings food truck. We got Fred. We got Justin. We got Zach. Welcome, guys.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for having us.
All right, man. How y'all doing today?
Doing great.
All right.
All right. So let's do this. Why don't you guys tell us something interesting about yourselves, each of you, so we can kind of easily remember who's who. You want to start with Fred?
Yep, I'll go. My name's Fred. I'm 34, married with 2 beautiful boys, and
he's Fred with 2 beautiful boys. All right, Justin, what about you?
Yeah. I'm Justin, 31 years old. Fred and I failed to mention, but he and I lift together, so he's my lifting buddy. Interesting thing about me, I guess, is I like to ski in the winter, kiteboard in the summer, and I play drums.
Oh, neat.
Okay.
And let me just clarify. He said lift together, not live together.
Yeah, lift. I do not live with Fred and his beautiful sons.
I know. All right. And Zach, tell us about
Justin's their live-in babysitter, actually. I'm Zach. I'm also 34. I did used to live with Justin up until till last year. And I don't know, interesting fact. I'm just the weird one of the group. A strange journey together.
Tell them about your business, your other.
Yeah, I mean, my other business, I have another startup, actually. Maybe down the road you can interview me for that, but it's real estate is my main business, and I just started.
Okay.
See, that's where we come in.
Yeah,
yeah.
You're not going to have an option. I'm going to be getting you on when you're ready because we're all about real estate. So that's perfect for us.
I'd love to. And it's a property management business that I just started. So it might be a little different than I listened to part of the wholesaling guy, entrepreneur. I don't know his name, but you had
Reggie.
one on, and yeah, would love to talk about real estate some other day.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, wholesaling was not our thing.
Yeah,
but
not
we actually did consider property management, but we'll talk about that next time.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right. So how did the 3 of you guys decide to be business partners and get into opening up Auntie Nings?
I think, like Fred said, I got used to eating it with him at his house, at his aunt's restaurant. And then when I came up here, there weren't any real options. I just hadn't had it since I moved to Richmond. And then Fred moved along here a couple of years ago. We just got to talking. I don't even know if Fred had really cooked for me at the time. I knew there was a need for it. I kept telling Fred, get some of your aunt's recipes. Let's sell some lumpia. And we don't really remember this, but Justin was there, I guess, for these conversations, just hanging out around the table. So he got wrapped into it. I was roommates with Justin at the time. I met Justin almost 9 years ago now when I first moved to Richmond, and he was my first roommate. I lived at the house where he was previously. So
how did it get from just a conversation, like a round table, like idea kicking around to actually implementing it?
Well, I remember, for example, do you guys remember buying that crappy fryer and frying up lumpia on my front porch with mosquitoes all around and Kate and Aaron were there?
We thought if we just pulled out a fryer and started dropping lumpia on our front porch, the smell and the sizzle would just bring the neighborhood out to try it.
We weren't even trying to sell it. We just wanted people to try it.
Yeah.
We also had no idea how it would cook in one of those. It was like a turkey fryer, just like a round fryer sitting on a propane tank. And
let's clarify. So Fred, you are Filipino.
Yeah. No, they're the Filipino one. Yeah, I have a really big family, but all my aunts cooked. My mom was a general manager of the restaurant, and it was my auntie Lita. It was Lita's Filipino restaurant.
Okay.
I want to say it's the very first ever in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
Don't quote me. I like to think of that we were number 1, and
hey, you got it. High hopes.
Claim
it.
Yeah, I remember growing up and just playing in the back and just eating Filipino food all day and helping my mom out.
Right.
So even though it sounds like it was Zach's idea, but it wasn't a far stretch for you, to start this business, right?
Oh, very far.
So you was nowhere near.
Well, Zach was the business-minded person. He's always trying to figure things out. Start something up. And believe it or not, before Nings, I have never cooked.
Whoa, are you serious? Okay, well, the food, guys, the food does not taste that way, just so you know.
Great. That's great.
So
only mastered the
before Nings,
craft.
and then
Oh, wait a minute. You never cooked eggs. Fred.
He still doesn't cook the eggs. Like, that's a different story.
the water.
Oh my
I could boil water and make ramen.
Okay, well,
But it's
but-
true. It's true because growing up, I ate at Fred's house, and it was all his aunt's food. I didn't even know he could cook.
I
wow.
didn't know I could cook either. So what happened was when I moved, we're originally from Norfolk,
Right.
and when I moved to Richmond, I really wanted Filipino food, and there was none. So I would call my mom and my aunt and be like, "Hey, teach me how to make adobo. Hey, teach me how to make blah 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 blah." And I just started practicing, and then, next thing you know, we are where we are now.
Yeah. So I
But
guess
I
that leads.
am far from a cook.
But that
Far.
leads.
Got into market and built a little following that way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started as like a stand at a farmer's market, and we did that for an entire summer season before we actually kind of graduated to the food truck setup that we have today. I'd say I think we started at our first farmer's market in literally the 1st of June. I remember because I was on vacation, so I didn't actually get to join that one. And then the food truck didn't come until October. So we worked in that kind of stand setup for that period of time.
We kind of just proved it one step at a time.
Yeah.
Me. Yeah. So to answer the question on the cost, I mean, our food trailer built by a local guy here in town was about $24,000, and we were able to get a regular automobile loan for that. And there's actually, at least through our bank, through SunTrust, it was a very simple process to apply. Actually now we're looking into options for expanding for another food truck. And now that we have a relationship with our bank, there are options for getting a commercial loan under the name Auntie Nings. But initially, to get it started, we just personally applied for an auto loan. We actually got to buy our generator. We have a all electric trailer. So the generator is the power. We needed a big one, cost about $3,000, $3,500. This is the trick I've used into real estate. Sometimes you can get a credit card with 0% interest for a year. You pay that back over the course of the year. It's like a free loan. So we did that to buy the generator just from Home Depot, paid it off every month, just like we've been paying off our trailer. Aside from that, I mean, we've basically bootstrapped it. We bought the ingredients, sold them at the market, made a little money, bought the supplies. Like we had to upgrade our fryer. We've upgraded all the equipment as we've gone. We now have a real, finally 30-cup professional rice cooker. We were using the 10-cup home kitchen one for the first
making
year
rice
and a half.
all day long.
Oh my
Every day.
goodness. Yeah. So those costs we don't even know because the business has really funded itself other than those two major purchases.
Were y'all
think
nervous to take those risks?
Yeah, well, it took a lot of we certainly put a lot of thought into whether or not we would do it. And the truth about how we grew this business is we've done it very conservatively. So we've taken the fewest risks possible, I'd say. Like, for example, one route you could take is to go ahead and invest $80,000 to $100,000 into an all-in-one food truck that's gas powered. We could have gone that route. Would have been a different, process for getting the loan and all that stuff. Yeah. Instead, we went the kind of MVP route where we instead of getting the all-in-one food truck, we got the trailer and we went electric powered instead of gas. Basically these trade-offs allowed us to minimize cost while testing the business out over that longer period of time.
Right.
And since our costs were, $25,000 or closer to 3,000 after the generator, it's still a lot of money, but it's a whole lot less than 100,000.
Oh yeah. Wow. So
I was just going to say real quick, there's never not a challenge when you're starting a business, growing a business. There's just literally always something that you have to figure out. and that shouldn't stop anyone. I mean, maybe you're getting to this question later, but you just have to go for it and meet each challenge as it comes. I mean, like Justin mentioned, we finally felt like we were doing great. We had our payments online, people could pre-order, and then suddenly Square, one of the major credit card processors out there, just drops us on a Friday night. We had to scramble, find a local company that did it. Then we pivoted to Toast, and we've been trying to integrate with all of the delivery apps to grow the business. We've been hiring some help along the way. So training staff has been a challenge, I would say. And, if it's not that, it's watching the bank account, trying to make sure you have the money to pay for the expenses week in and week out. So now, we've gone to the bank and we've asked for kind of this credit card, line of credit. You're just juggling a lot of hats when there's only, 3 people seems like a lot for a food truck, but when you have other jobs, it really takes every one of us.
Right.
So there wasn't a lot of specific challenges, just to say there is always a challenge to deal with.
Absolutely. I think
Yeah, for me, the biggest compliment for me is just somebody that enjoys the food, like whenever I see a return customer, that also makes me pretty happy and pretty proud. So
right.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I really like seeing like repeat names, people that I know have come to see us before, and then they keep coming back.
Right.
It kind of is it kind of validates the appeal of what we're offering.
Yeah, you're
Also,
doing great.
Yeah, and I'm also proud of the the people that work with us, the people who are on the food truck, people who are in the kitchen. They do a fantastic job, and I think we probably agree we couldn't have done it without their help. Otherwise, it would just be way too much work.
Right.
Oh no! So we ran everything. The 3 of us ran everything for a year straight. So all the events, all the
your
cooking.
full-time jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, it sucked.
And
No, it didn't suck, but it was a lot of work. Like if you're not willing to put in the work, then it's most likely not going to work out. I know, like Fred said, we ran everything for the first year, and that bit basically meant sacrificing every single weekend and some weekdays, and taking time off work, and that takes a lot of dedication and effort. So I imagine it'd be the same for anyone else.
Go for it if you're very passionate about it.
Yeah.
Right. Passion. Yeah.
And be patient. We are.
He has to remind me of that a lot.
We are nowhere near where we want to be, and I thought that we would have actually been further. Not how do I everything takes a while, and
Yeah.
it's tough, especially if you don't have a big place in the market like Filipino food. Nobody knows Filipino food around here, at least. So if you're trying to start something brand new, be even more patient.
Right. Well, they will.
They will.
I mean, you probably know you have a following, but you may have more fans than you actually realize.
It's funny. I went to the dermatologist the other day. Like this is probably the only time this has happened to me so far. But I went to the dermatologist the other day, and I had my appointment, and I'm on my way out, and I had my mask on, and it's an Auntie Nings mask. And the lady who does the checkouts, she checks me out, and she's like, "So do you know Auntie Nings?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know about Auntie Nings." And she's like, "We love you guys. My husband is Filipino and loves you guys." I was like, "No way, this is so cool."
See?
Someone recognized, not me, but at least someone recognized the business.
Exactly.
I think I'm quite sure that's the first time that's happened to me. So I thought that was really cool.